Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here with another review for you. This time it's going to be of a 2014 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Limited. So this is top of the line with almost every option you can get. We're going to take a quick look at the interior of the car and see what it's all about in here. Starting over here, take a look at the center console. If you notice, we got some nice big cup holders here right away. It's a very, these are actually very good cup holders. They keep everything really secure in there. They do have some nice grippers from the side here, which are very effective. Coming over here, you have your big Jeep shifter with the insignia on top. And this goes park, reverse, neutral, drive, and also you could shift in the drive. Over here you have your four-wheel drive controls. So this gives you 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. That's for obviously going off-road, doing whatever you need to do that way. Generally, you'll keep it in 2 high to conserve fuel. So that's why you do that. You don't lose any efficiency through the additional traction. So coming over here, you have all your controls for the mirrors, as well as the windows are in the center console, and that's because obviously the doors in this vehicle can come off entirely, and as a result of that, you would lose these functions entirely. So it's just easier to have them here, so they're always in one spot. If you notice, you have seat warmers, you have traction control, hill descent, hazards, an outlet function, and also your passenger seat warmer. Over here you have your big chunky climate controls. If you notice, they're very large, and they all feel good to the touch. They feel relatively durable, put together well, and they're big enough to grab with gloved hands, which is why they're designed like that. And just be aware, all these materials here, it's all pretty much hard plastic throughout the entire car. I mean, this is a Jeep. It's designed to be rugged. It's not designed to be luxurious. So obviously, while the material quality isn't the highest, I would say that the fit and finish overall, from what I'm seeing here, is pretty high, considering that nothing really creaks or squeaks or anything like that. And there's just a number of little cubbies. There's one down here, if you notice. There's one over here beneath the handbrake, which is large and easy to grip. There's another one up here, and there's also a net over here to store whatever you need to store. Coming over here, you have your air vents, which are pretty nice. They're omnidirectional, and you can just close them very easily like that. And this surround here is that's just plastic surround. It's not. There's no use of real genuine materials in here. It's either silver painted plastic or something similar. Over here, this is a smoother hard plastic over here. And this is all hard plastic. A lot of cars nowadays, or almost all of them, have, some sort of soft touch up here. But the Jeep, considering it's late in the model year, it does still use this hard plastic over here. Another cubby up here, which is a little bit softer in there, so nothing slides around. And coming over here, you see you have this this handle, which is a little bit rubberized over here, so it's a little bit easier to grip. And it has this same silver painted plastic over there as well. These little bolts in there, which is a nice touch, those are actually real metal bolts in there, which is pretty nice. Over here you have the glove box, which again, if you notice the panel gaps, they're all very consistent and pretty tight. Coming all the way over here, everything seems to be put together pretty well as far as I'm concerned. The speakers are on the dashboard, they're not on the door, because otherwise you would lose the sound. And if you notice over here in the door, you have a pocket, as well as the connector. So when you take the door off, this is what you take off. I'll show you on the other side when I open the door. And then over here, you see similar use of materials. You have this silver painted plastic with the real bolts. And this is actually a vinyl type material, so it's a little bit squishy. It's not leather, it's just a foam vinyl, and that just ends right over here when this is all plastic. Same thing over here. This is not soft, this is hard plastic as well. Sometimes that'll be soft, but in this case it's not. And look at the size of the handle. Again, very large, and very, very durably built, this car overall. Just quickly, here's the infotainment screen, as well as your standard functions. This one has Sirius as well as the navigation, and it's pretty nicely done. I think it feels pretty good to the touch. The steering wheel coming over here. You have plastic inserts over here. Well, not really inserts, but of course they're just the plastic spokes all over here. And you have the Jeep logo inside. And really the nicest part about the steering wheel here would be this leather. It's very smooth. I would describe it as being similar to a luxury car like an Acura or a BMW, for example. Very nice leather. Feels very good in the hands. There's not really any bolsters though. It's just sort of the same thickness all the way through. And a car like this, it's a Jeep again. You have your steering wheel controls over here as well. And then over here we have the gauges, which are legible and clear, but they're not very interesting. They're not very distinctive for the car. So they're just very standard, sort of the sort of the same for almost every Jeep, except for some of the newer models use different gauges. And then if come over here, this is what I was mentioning before. So when you open and close the door, this is really the only thing stopping it from swinging out any further. If you notice, there's not really any stop on the hinges. There's sort of a big gap there. So the door just lifts right out. And also look at the weatherproofing that goes all the way across is very good. Obviously, because you could go pretty deep in the water with this vehicle, you don't want anything to come through the door, any liquids. And over here, this does have the removable hardtop, which goes all the way across. And you use a series of latches, one over there, another over here, and two more behind me to remove that. This is just sort of a hollow plastic feeling. I suspect there's some kind of insulation in here, at least to some degree, but it does a pretty good job of keeping the temperature and the noise pretty constant in here. And then you have the roll bars. You could unzipper these over here for when you take the roof off the vehicle. Okay, I'll take a quick look in the back, and then that'll be it. Oh, one more thing. Almost forgetting about the glove box here, which again, very similar to the armrest. It has this vinyl, where this is not leather, it's just vinyl. There's no stitching to speak of on here. And it is a dual level glove box, so you could undo it once, and you have this pretty cavernous opening, and you can undo it this way, and then you have sort of this upper level, which is sort of nice, and you could just put stuff on there as well. And it's got a really good solid feel to it as well. I mean, this is going to be, just feels like it's well built overall. Very high step in height for this vehicle as well, because there's no step additional. Over here you have big subwoofers in the back. Obviously, again, you can take the roof off this vehicle, so you need that. You have some additional functions over here, some latches that come undone, and then finally you have some more cup holders down here, and some pretty useful map pockets as well. Let's get a little bit view of the vehicle from back here. Overall, it's a nice truck with a lot of capability, and for, it is what it is in here. The materials aren't the best. However, they're put together very nicely, in my opinion, and it's appropriate for what the vehicle's designed for. What it's supposed to do. So overall, nicely built, nice design in here for the age. It hasn't aged too poorly. I suspect there's going to be a new model coming out within the next couple of years, and we'll see how that looks. But again, any questions, comments, if you liked it, If that was too long, too short, please let me know. I'll try and get some more videos up soon. Thank you, and see you soon.